Okay guys, so I'm very happy to announce that we have now arrived at the ferry bridge on the Isle of Man. Except it's not a ferry bridge, is it, Isle of Man? Is it? It's Isle of Man's dirty little secret. A touristic bridge built on lies, if you will. For this is not the original ferry bridge. No, the tourist board decided that the real ferry bridge was too hard for people to walk to. And so they built a second ferry bridge, and the original was left to rot in the woods. Let's go find it. This one was completely my fault.
I had been on the Isle of Man for nearly a week now, and after several mishaps, a missing set of keys and a few rainy days, I was nearing the end of my trip. However, I had two things left that I wanted to achieve before leaving the island. That was, of course, to see the seals at the Calf of Man and to visit the famous ferry bridge.
We're off to find some seals. Oh, don't go near the edge, don't go near the edge. Oh, whether we do or not, that's a different story. But I'm hoping we see at least one. That's all I want, is just to see one single seal. And then I will consider this trip a success. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, let's go see. Let's go see if we can find some seals. A love heart. Is that? Hang on, wait, I think I can see some. Oh, on the other side of the island. Guys, they're over here. Yes. Okay. Ooh. Don't get too excited, Okay. Is it a stone? No, okay, it's moving. Look at him go! Look at him jump! Oh my god, this is fantastic. I'm so excited. Okay guys, so we're still at the bay. We're at the Calf of Man, which is the south part of the Isle of Man, and it's been a really lovely morning. It's really lovely here, and although the sun isn't out and it's a little bit cloudy, it's still a fantastic place to come. And overall, I'm so over the moon that I've managed to see the seals. Not as close as I was kind of hoping to see them, but beggars can't be choosers. I got to see the seals. I didn't get to see the wallabies, but I got to see the seals. So as far as I'm concerned, this is a successful trip. Now the plan is that I'm going to go back to the bike, get the helmet on, and we are going to go up north a little bit to try and find a ferry bridge. So without further ado, let's jump on the bike. Let's go. Okay guys, so I'm very happy to announce that we have now arrived at the ferry bridge on the Isle of Man. Except it's not a ferry bridge, is it, Isle of Man? Is it? It's Isle of Man's dirty little secret. A touristic bridge built on lies, if you will. For this is not the original ferry bridge. No, the tourist board decided that the real ferry bridge was too hard for people to walk to. And so they built a second ferry bridge, and the original was left to rot in the woods. Let's go find it. So basically we can't go this way, there's tons of barbed wire. We have to go around. Scam ferry bridges, Sprocket investigates. So if you're into off-roading, this path is off-road. You can't take your motorcycle down. And at the top of the path there is a sign to say you can take your motorcycle down. However, my bike has road tyres, and as much as I love Rocket, I feel like if I take him down here, he ain't getting back out again. I can see why they built a tourist-friendly route. There we go, guys. Here we go. Good afternoon, fairies. Apparently that's what you're supposed to do, like a mad woman. Look at that. Ta-da! This, ladies and gentlemen, is the real ferry bridge. The real ferry bridge of the Isle of Man. None of that tourist nonsense. Oh, and how majestic does it look?
Something really interesting about ferry bridges is that they seem to exist universally. From the Isle of Man to China, every culture seems to have its own version. There are many theories about why this is the case, ranging from cultural beliefs to traditions, psychological explanations, and even the idea of social cohesion. Regardless of what you believe, it's apparent that the ferry bridge on the Isle of Man serves as a sacred space. And when you visit the ferry bridge, you can't help but feel in awe with the connection to human history and tradition.
Now, when it comes to the Manx population, they are particularly superstitious when it comes to ferries. So much so that I did hear by a biker the other day that a taxi driver refused to drive on until he said hello to the fairies as they passed on by. Now, a lot of people, when coming to the ferry bridge, they will leave little tokens of appreciation. So we have a couple of pound coins there. Oh! And I've just dropped my offering. Oh no, where'd it go? Where did it go? I think the fairies have taken it already. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find it. Oh dear! I did want to give it to the fairies, but it seems like they've already taken it. How bizarre. How bizarre. I was about to put down 100 Norwegian kroner, which is what I've been carrying in my bag for the last 6 months since my Norwegian trip. And just as I went to put it down, it's vanished. I've just... What? What? No, what? That was... It literally just fell out of my hand. And it's not there. What? What? It's like it's just vanished into the ground. Oh, that's spooky. I'm getting out of here. That's... Guys, I am really not making this up. I literally just had it in my hand and then it just like fell out and then it's not here. It is not. I think it's time to go back to the bike. Does that mean they accepted my offering? Am I... No, surely not, surely not. I'm a grown-up, okay? I am a grown-up. A grown-up who's a little bit spooked out right now. It just wasn't there. Did that just happen? Because it felt like I dropped it, but now I'm not so sure. It just suddenly slipped out my hand, but my hand was like clenched tight roundly, and I was about to put it down. And then it just fell straight out the middle of my hand. But it didn't make a sound when it hit the floor. It's like it vanished. Oh, I'm really creeped out.
Now that I truly spooked myself out, the only thing left to do was to make my way off the island and begin a new adventure. Of course, that did mean I needed to survive the ferry back to the UK.
This one was completely my fault.